Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. Oh, they're coming, Brian. They're coming. They're yeah, they're getting ready over here. They're getting ready. Good to see you. Brian. Super yay. Yay. So many ways to say yay. Like, yeah, yay, yay, yay. All right, really, I just proved there's only like 2 ways to say yay. What's up, Diesel? Diesel D. Have you guys recovered from your hangover from winning the national championship yet, D? Have you? Has your state recovered? Might I also add one thing, D, that you're probably aware of? I don't know if anybody else will be moving forward. They'll see this later when they come on board. But I happen to have huge respect for 2 of, I think you guys only have 2, but your state senators, John Kennedy and Mike Johnson. And I've liked Kennedy from the day he opened his mouth. He's a senator in Louisiana who was not only a Harvard graduate, I think I'm getting that right, but the more important part is that he's a Biloxi graduate from the UK. If you've never seen the movie Biloxi Blues, it stars Rob Lowe back in his younger years. And I guess I would have to specify the decade because he never looks any older or younger. But probably from like the early 80s, Biloxi Blues. It was pretty good, actually. Pretty good. It's not bad. So. Oh, Mardi Gras. That's right. So, yesterday, it's midnight tomorrow. We often spoke about going to like a Mardi Gras sometime because it's right around our anniversary. So we didn't, but I'm glad that's happening. Yeah, everybody's moved on to like the party, right? The party of the South, Mardi Gras. You guys are awesome. So yeah, that was a great. Let me check if I have somebody blocked. I don't think I do, but James, I have no idea why you would not be able to post in this chat. No clue at all. I don't even have an option. So I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm sorry. I'm Bill Mish. I'm not Bill Gates. So I'm sorry you can't participate, but hopefully you can listen. And for that, I'm thankful. And I'm also thankful that you were the one that posted the new Q drops on Robert Wallace's live stream. As he went into his live stream, which I appreciated. His live stream was great, right? Can we agree? A lot of fun. I enjoy it much. Before we get into the new Q drops, I guess before that, today was kind of like the victory lap for Trump, right? kind of had his victory lap. President went out there. He said what needed to be said. He called out basically Nancy Pelosi, definitely to her face, at the national morning of prayer that they had today. When he called it out and he spoke about what he spoke about was a lot of things, but what he was getting at when he was speaking to her was hypocrites and hypocritical behavior, which for me to jump on board with what he's saying is no big deal. For those who are asleep, they would say that he's completely in the wrong. He's not at all. He's not in the wrong. I mean, he's exposing. He's exposing it. James, I'm so sorry. Mods, please see if like James is blocked on your end. I don't even know how to block somebody from a live stream. I know how to block them as a mod, but I'm not a mod. I don't even know how to look him up to see if he, anyway, please, somebody check that out, because we definitely miss and want James in the chat, right? So, what's up, Great Informer? Sorry, trying to read my chat and my phone and everything else. Yeah, we'll get it figured out, James. Glad you're here, though. I guess Great Informer says they are censoring me, shadow banning me on Parler. The big tech algorithms are manipulating posts. I guess that doesn't surprise me so much. They are moving forward with, stopping the truth from coming out. They have been doing their best. They can't stop it. It's already too late. They can't do anything about it. So I'm kind of bummed that James can't be in the chat. I'm not going to lie. I don't know why that is. But what he did is he dropped us the most recent Q drops, and they are right here, right now. And I'm going to read them. And for that, James, thank you. I appreciate it. There's a lot here. It's in a couple small instances that the Q drops were sent, and we're going to try to unpack them the best we can. So the first one, which was today at 10:42 p.m. Now I'll try to do this as quick as I can, but Q says of the story I'm about to glaze over for you. Read carefully. Big development. Senate back to work? ? Impeachment goal was to delay ? Which a question mark means yes, it was. Just like it always has been. Witness request meant to delay ? Of course. Will they try again ? Q's giving us the answers. Yes. They're going to do all of this. And then without a question mark, it says accountability is coming. Q. So let me just briefly glaze that real quick again. Big development. Senate back to work? Yes. Impeachment goal was to delay? Yes. Witnesses request meant to delay? Yes. Will they try again? Yes. Accountability is coming. Q. That's telling you that everything that they tried to do within the Senate over the last 3 weeks, try to shove it through and try to demand that they put witnesses up on the stage, was all meant to delay. Impeachment of the president was meant to delay. Yes, it all got snuffed out like a candle. There is no delay. They brought it quickly into the Senate. The Senate tried it efficiently. It was tried and it's done. And it's really taken every play that they thought they had, especially time. They thought if they could buy time, tying this up into many, many months of just mire, just throwing the president under the bus, letting unnamed sources come out one after another while he's under investigation, while they're trying to call witnesses, while they claim he's obstructing justice, trying to deny subpoenas, all of this shit that you are not being given because you're not given the truth on mainstream television. Was this whole thing getting rammed through to the Senate was to muddy up the waters for this entire year going into the election of 2020. And what this Q post, which I'm just reading now and putting together, before I even click on the Washington Examiner story, tells me that Mitch McConnell, leader of the Senate, did a masterful job. Leader McConnell was flawless in the execution of how this impeachment trial went. Mitch McConnell will be remembered. Believe it. Let's move on to the next post. Well, let me read the Washington Examiner article that they put with this. Let me just glaze on it because I really don't like doing this when I'm live, but this seemed important when I was reading the highlight notes that James posted. This seemed very important, and I was anxious to get on and kind of talk about some of these things, but I haven't read these articles yet. So this looks, oh, there's a couple. All right, so I might not do this very long, at least pulling up articles because it's pulling up banners and I have my pop-up up. Anyway, the U.S. Treasury Department has started turning over confidential banking records related to Hunter Biden in response to requests from Senate investigative committees. Well, that's big. That's huge. Senate Finance Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley, who I like, from Iowa, and Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee Chairman Ron Johnson, not Ron Burgundy, but Ron Johnson, asked the Treasury in November for suspicious activity reports. They're commonly known as SARS, SARs, suspicious, I hate that word, activity report. And started asking them to fill those out. Well, that's about money laundering, fraud, this and that. I'm not going to go in and read the story because I just, quite honestly, am reading it for the first time. But I will cover the highlights of the Q drops, which brings us to Q drop 3836. And this is a big one, and it's full of really good bullet points. And I think it's going to bring a lot more clarity into the future of what Q is saying here. This is much more direct, not so many question marks, not Put your listeners out. Listen right now to what I'm going to read. You have to hear this. And there's a couple more after this, but listen. So Q is talking directly to you and me, all of us. Think HRC, Hillary Rodham Clinton. So think HRC, Russia, reset statement, Russia. Think Hussein, Obama. I'll have more flexibility after the election. A hot mic statement from Obama to the Russian to deliver that message to Vladimir Putin. I'll have much more flexibility. It was regarding Q drop, Hussein regarding Putin. It means Hussein was trying to strike a deal and work with Putin. Now it says, think Hussein, Obama, White House refusal to send weapons to Ukraine. Yes, because all they sent was aid for medical, that kind of stuff. Comforts, linens, blankets. That's all the aid that was sent by Obama to Ukraine. He refused to send the Javelin missiles, the missiles that could stop the Russian tanks. Hussein, Obama wouldn't do it. So Q is saying, think Hussein's refusal to send the weapons to Ukraine. Republican Congress pushed to assist, but instead only sent blankets. The Republicans stood up and wanted Obama to send the Javelin missiles. Think Democrats' attacks regarding president's failure to protect Ukraine against Russian aggression. That is where the impeachment came in. What advanced weapons did President send to Ukraine? The Javelin missiles. And the Democrats have been screaming that 2 + 2 = 4. They're trying to put it into math terms. They're trying to put it in a way that, based on hearsay, proves the president wrong. With the fact that he delivered Javelin missiles, the very much needed missiles to stop the advancement of Russia into Ukraine. Q says 2 + 2 = 6, not 4, as they've claimed. Because they're not playing the same type of game. They're not playing the same math. Q says define projection. Now, what does that mean? Define projection. Well, just listen to any Democrat right now out there yapping their soup blowers, running their lips very loudly. Q says define projection. That's projection. Listen to anybody from the left right now that is out there yapping away. That's panic. Think $1.8 billion from Hussein in the White House, Barack Obama when he was in the White House, filtered to Ukraine. To which bank? Q is pointing us. Which bank? Where's this money going? Q furthers on and pontificates. Think U.S. aid to Ukraine. Think worldwide aid to Ukraine. Think Uranium One, which is the key component. It's the component to make a nuclear weapon, is what it is, uranium. Which was, I know some of you don't know this, but uranium is, we are the second biggest nation in the world with the second largest deposits of uranium. And there was a deal that, you'll find this out later. There was a deal that was struck between Hillary, Obama, Robert Mueller, where they sold out the uranium from our country. And the reason they sold it out was because it was worth a lot of money, and it went towards the plan of nuclearizing Iran and nuclearizing North Korea. That's why Trump ran when he ran, because he had to. That was the next level of what was coming. So this little statement about uranium one, where it says you won, the sale of uranium to Russia. At that time, Putin was playing ball with what he thought was going to be the American government. He's looking out for Russia. But keep in mind that he had to do some type of business. I'm not saying he's guiltless in all of this. None of them are. Feels like every single person in every single country had an underhanded, shady deal they've been dealing with since the get-go. So that's a little history behind Uranium One. So think about how they're using the $1.8 billion from Barack Hussein Obama's aid to Ukraine. What they're saying is that think about the U.S. aid there. Think worldwide aid. They're not getting at the fact that they're getting aid. What this is building up to is, where does the aid go? That's what you got to start wrapping your mind around. Where does the aid go? It's not the fact that the money gets delivered to Ukraine. It's what type of small puppet little businesses does that money get funneled into to eventually go full circle to get deposited back into your lawmakers. Everybody takes a little bit off the top. And by everybody, I mean everybody that's dirty. And they take a lot off the top. Next line in the Q drop is sold out the U.S. to benefit Russia for personal financial gain. That's talking about Hussein Obama. He sold out the U.S. to benefit Russia for personal financial gain. He sold us out. He risked U.S. national security for personal financial gain. Yes, he did. How was payment made to the U.S. person? She was asking the question, how was the payment made? I don't have the answer to that, but what I'm guessing is that they're saying they do. They know how the payment was made. It's paper trails. It's all of this. The question wouldn't even be posed unless they knew exactly where the payment made. We're watching a movie, you guys. I'm giving you a current, updated, right now, live at the moment, Q drop that is telling us exactly how we are where we're at right now and why this means what it is. It's very real. I think we've passed all the timelines for the Q drops that have been going on over the last 2.5 years. I think we're dealing in real-time Q drops. Maybe not all of them, but Q's asking right now the pertinent questions. This is finger pointing 101 onto Hussein Obama. It truly is Trump's turn. It's the Patriots' turn. This Q drop all but solidifies it. So he rushed U.S. national security for personal financial gain. How was the payment made to him, U.S. person? Think Ukraine, think Iran, Russia and Iran allies, Russia, Iran, and China allies, U.S. political corruption happening in China, U.S. political corruption happening in Ukraine, and that's the U.S. leverage on behalf of Obama. U.S. political corruption happening within Russia, and U.S. political corruption happening in Ukraine. Common denominator, Q says, is China, Russia, and Iran. Do you know what they all have in common? Q says right here, closed financial systems. Do you know what that means? That China, Russia, and Iran have closed financial systems. It means they have no central bank. They don't have a central bank lending them paper. Q says logical thinking. Q. Now maybe I'll go back and reread this when I'm all done and kick myself in the head, because that literally was me going through it with you and not reading it. There's only 3 more Q drops, and the next 3 are shorter. So let me go through it. But I think it's important because this next Q drop is going to knock your socks off. All in capital letters, it says, bigger than you can imagine. This is Q typing this now. Bigger than you can imagine. And not in caps, but all sentences. More than selling of the U.S. secrets. More than selling of the U.S. security. More than selling of military technology. More than the selling of the CIA assets. More than selling of NSA bulk data collection programs. More than the selling of the uranium that we just spoke about. More than the selling of the United States space national security programs and positions. More than the selling of the U.S. aid, and more than selling of the SAPs. Classification 1 through 99. Q is building us up, saying that everything that's been happening is more than the things that, it's bigger. It's whatever you thought it was. If you thought it was just the FBI, it's bigger. If you thought it was the CIA, it's bigger. It's bigger than we can possibly imagine. And Q is lumping that in right now to tell us that what is being taken down is bigger than any of this. They get one shot. The next line within the same Q drop, it says crimes against humanity. Now you think about what's going to take these people down. In part is going to be these type of crimes. And I'm talking crimes against people, women, children. When we find out what this went to, what levels, it's not going to be good at all. So it says crimes against humanity. When you cannot destroy/defeat the United States of America by attacking the head-on, which is Trump, you change tactics, and you deploy a kill from within internal operation. Well, doesn't that tie right into everything I've told you about the Fabian socialism, who wanted to get inside of America and root it out with their belief system, right? That's what it's telling us right now, is that when you cannot destroy or defeat the United States of America by attacking head on, you change the tactics and deploy from a kill within. You get inside the United States and then you deploy your terrible message. But you get support, you get people, you get time, you get the mainstream media wearing on people's psyche. You get them saying this and this, and you have this really terrible narrative that you're trying to push onto the American people. And time plus pressure plus consistency in a message tells you that they were trying to let socialism take over in America. And I would make strong cases for many 20-year-olds that I've listened to speak who are clueless. Anyway, back to the Q drop. So when you cannot defeat or destroy the United States of America by attacking it head on, you change tactics and deploy a kill from within. It's an internal operation. It affects the financial and the economy. It affects the military and the police. It affects the division of citizens. It has to do with the border collapsing. These people have people everywhere. They install like-minded leaders into key positions of the United States government. Like-minded, amiable, go along to get along type people. But they are positioned puppets within what they're trying to say, what they're trying to portray. They have their operatives. So they install like-minded leaders into key positions of the U.S. government. This isn't me telling you this. I'm reading Q. This is highly sensitive, classified information that is now being very much exposed and given to you. So it says, following up on this Q drop, how many people in brackets removed from the FBI had Iranian family backgrounds? It's not a rhetorical question. That is a challenge. How many people have been removed from the FBI who had an Iranian family background? I would just tell you by the reason of the question that answer is probably quite a damn few many. Probably quite a few. And then Q finishes the post by saying, the silent war continues. ... Q. All right, we're almost done. 2 more Q drops. This one's even half as short as the last one. And the very last one is a very, very short one. So bear with me. I'm going to get through this real quick, and then I'm going to wrap up the screen. So Q drop 3838. Control over the media has kept people in the dark. Well, we know about that, right? Control over the media has kept people at heel, like a dog when you teach a dog to heel, which means behind. They've kept people dumb and behind. Control over the media has kept people focused on falsehoods. Think about the stories that are spun. Think about the fake news over the years. Think about everything that's been exposed to you. Think about that. The things that you know that you've been lied to about, and at a very minimum haven't been told the truth about. Control over the media has kept people in a constant state of fear. Yeah. Control over the media has divided our republic into segments, which include race, religion, class, political affiliation, and gender. And what do they all have in common? They've been weaponized. When us collectively as a citizenship are divided, we have no collective power. When we as a citizenry have no collective power, then they can have no power or control over the levels that govern them, which are the levers of control. Bold brackets, illusion of democracy. That's what it is. So when we, the people, are divided, the deep state, have no collective power. No, I'm sorry. When we, the people, are divided, we have no collective power. When we have no collective power, then we can no longer control the levels that govern us. That's what Q is saying. We have to stick together, shoulder to shoulder. Together, we have to go through this. Everybody. We have to get through this. It's the Great Awakening, and it turns into the storm. Well, guess what? We're going to have to go through the storm. We've been through the Great Awakening. And wrapping up Q drops for tonight, I guess, is a Twitter by Benny Johnson. And we'll see what it says, or maybe it's a video. I don't know. It says, have you heard of the new way Act Forward? You should probably watch this. All right, I'm not going to play it. It's 9 minutes long. But what it is, if you have Twitter, go to @BennyJohnson with a white check mark. And it's Tucker Carlson. Okay, so I'm not going to play it. But more importantly, even though I didn't click on the video to the tweet, or to the tweet, what Q says following up is, it's time to wake up. Q. It's time to wake up. Not so much a message for you or me. Most of the things I just went through and read from the Q drops, you may have said to yourself, oh, wow, it's really happening. It says, we have heard it. We've heard it. These Q drops, how they're being laid out, are for the new batch of awakeners that are coming on board. These are for them. There's a new class of the awake. They could never go back to Q drop 1 and jump on. I know I said it the other night, but when you think about it, all right, there will be a very, very small percentage of people that just want to do that to themselves, that want to know it all. But there's a new crop that's coming constantly over and over and over that are waking up. These drops are much softer and much more poignant for their direction than they were with us. The blow has been softened. Trump is on the offensive. Q and the Patriots are firmly in control. We are, in fact, watching a movie. It's entertaining as it gets. And is it difficult to get through? It is. It's tough. Because you got to keep living life, knowing the truth. That's difficult. I'd almost guarantee if any one of you knew 3 years ago, if somebody said, you know what, when Trump becomes president, he's going to arrest everybody and clean up DC. And you went, yeah. And they said, but it's going to take him 3.5 years before he does anything, but you got to support him. You've been like, I'm talking about to the level of understanding what's going on that you do. I mean, I think it's been a fantastic show. I think they're proving themselves. And I think our best days are ahead. I know that's something that Trump talks about. Your best days are coming. And they are coming. So I want to thank you guys for coming to my live stream. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the days ahead. I'm actually kind of looking forward to the Democrats' next play. They only have till November to get done whatever they want to get done. I want the president under extra security times 1,000. I don't want anybody near him within 1,000 to 2,000 meters because he has turned over the chessboard and he has disrupted the game. And the deep state is no longer in control. They are flying blind. And their day in court, should they choose to accept it, versus suicide weekend, well, that day is coming. And because they're out of ammunition, I'm not saying they couldn't do something like in the school or something terrible and shoot and all that. They might have those little pockets where they can do something, but Their days of controlling the narrative are almost over. They're just about done. America's awake. The world's awake. And every day, more and more Democrats are becoming awake. So pretty soon, the Democrat Party and the leftists will be participants in a wake. Because they're dead. They're done. Their days are done. They're done. They're not even numbered. They're just any day now. It's happening. So anyway, happy to come on. What's up, Redneck Prapple? It's good to see you. I always catch you late. And I never read the chat. For that I suck. And I'm sorry. But thank you guys all for coming and hearing me out and letting me go through the Q drops. I didn't know what to expect. So thanks for coming. I hope they enlightened you and you're happy. I want to give a shout out to James Rohrbach. I don't know what's going on, James, but we'll get you back on to being able to comment, I hope, soon. So that's about it. You got it, Joe Mama. Love you, girl. Thank you. You guys are all phenomenal. Thank you, D. God bless you all. Keep your ears open. Keep seeking truth. Keep your eye on the prize. It's coming. The prize is definitely coming soon. So I love y'all. God bless y'all. And have a fantastic day tomorrow. Don't forget to pray. Pray for all of us. I like getting prayed for. And I like praying for you. So do that. Sorry.